coming from cooperative liquidations and from our own profits. So the strange thing is that we were established by a law, by an Italian law in 1992. So we are a hybrid private investment fund, also because we are not a for-profit entity. We're not supposed to make profits out of our activity, because our mission, which is written in this law, is to promote and develop new cooperative enterprises with specific priorities that are written in the law, which are to support technological innovation, job creation, economic development in the south of the country, which is supposed to be the section of the country which is where these interventions are most needed. We are audited by the Italian Ministry of Economic Development, so we are audited by a public institution. Euros. We are managing today total assets which are 469 million. We have accumulated a net raising funding of 517 million euros. This is taking the 97% of our liabilities and equity. And we have, I think the most interesting slide is the next one, which is the break of our assets, which shows you how we basically develop our activity. So we are mostly investing in cooperative businesses through the equity form sectors, but also at different maturity stages. So we fund both startups and mature companies, and we fund mature companies in development stages, but also in debt restructuring, in consolidating operations. So we basically follow cooperatives in their lifetime, since they're born, so basically when they die, more sometimes. But our activity is very varied. It varies a lot. It is also that we don't only provide financial resources, but also technical assistance, which is what we call this finance plus approach. So we give grants to allow cooperatives to basically look at their investment strategy, look at how they're organized, look at their weaknesses, study them, and then come back to us with an investment project that is designed better, that is drawn upon maybe a feasibility study, a marketing study. So this is the way that we try to help and support cooperatives to sustainability and into a way of managing businesses that is drawn to producing positive environmental and social impact, which is not new to cooperatives, of course, but we're trying to draw the movement to a more scientific approach to impact production, let's say. So that's why I was talking to you about, for instance, our sustainability rating. Our strategic plan is based on 3 pillars on portfolio management. So we want to fund more and more impact-oriented and sustainable initiatives. So initiatives that can be clearly identified as positive impact-producing initiatives. We're working on our toolbox, so we want to provide technical assistance and mentoring more and more to cooperatives.
Risk capital, I would say, to support young or startup co-ops. There is a lot of interest, and there's a lot of interest in this room, there's a lot of interest in cooperatives across the country. There's also, as other speakers have mentioned, there's a big drive for ESG, I should say environmental, social, and governance-minded investors outside of the cooperative space that would, I think, be attracted to supporting cooperative growth because it really meets, as we've talked throughout the day, it meets really all the requirements of a socially important and socially minded organization.
So if a cooperative, an existing cooperative comes to us and they want to do an investment, any investment, they have to raise their capital and we put the same amount in equity. With a startup, the leverage is 1 to 1.5. So basically we hire, we raise the leverage with startups, so we take more risk. We can go up if they intervene if Cooperfid Italia, for instance, intervenes,
Maybe.
we lower, maybe.
Maybe.
They don't like startups as we do, but anyways. We lower the interest rate on loans because we can also fund them through a loan if they don't have capital, they don't have enough equity. So that's more or less how the mechanism works. So they get 500,000 for free, that's a grant, to set up the company. And then they come up with an investment plan and we do an equity investment. The mechanism, the bullet scheme, doesn't work for cooperatives. We don't have, the margins, the EBIT that is produced by co-ops in Italy in all sectors is very low. So we have, on average, I'm talking about on average, but we have a very difficult cash flow management in cooperatives. It's very rare because it's a low capital, business. It's very rare that a cooperative company would choose a bullet scheme with us, but with anyone, but with us especially. Okay?